I'm sure you recognize your old friend, the partner.
How could I forget? Put a bullet in my back.
She's been raising hell all over the globe for the past 2 years. Last week, partner stole a piece of technology.
This is how we change the world.
I need you and your team on this one.
Hey. We do it my way. No questions asked.
I'm in.
All right, we got your back.
All right, on the heels of big action films of summer like The Old Guard with Charlize Theron and Project Power with Jamie Foxx comes your next big adventure. It's Hard Kill, starring Bruce Willis, Jesse Metcalfe, and our next guest, whose name sounds like he was destined to be an action star. Texas Battle joins us now. Rachel Smith is so boring. I want to be Rachel Battle. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Rachel Battle. I like it. How you doing?
I'm doing great, not as good as you. You've got this great new movie coming out with your constant collaborator. You've worked with Bruce Willis several times now.
Yes, I have. I've been very fortunate to work with Mr. Willis now. This is a big fourth film with him. And what an honor. You know, you never thought in a million years that you'd be working with such a huge megastar like Bruce Willis. And then when you get that opportunity the first time, it's just over mind blowing. You know what I mean? And then the producers like me working with him. He likes me as well, and I'm able to continue that work with him in the future.
Getting along is one of the big parts of Hollywood. Kids need to understand, like, hard work, having a good attitude, very important. It kind of helps with your success along the way, and working with people over and over. And tell us about this action film, because this so far has been this summer of some fun action films. Even if we can't go to theaters until now, it's fun to see them at home.
It's good that it's actually coming out during this time too, because now you do have some of the big movie productions that are going back to shooting, and you have big movies in theaters that are coming out this week. Ours is actually going to be in your local theaters and also a drive-in. But Hard Kill was directed by Matt Eskandari, who I worked with once before. Great director, definitely knows how to shoot the action sequences. You like a director who's an actor's director. He lets you play with certain characters. And of course, Jesse Metcalfe, good friend of mine who's been doing this thing for several years also. And, Mr. Bruce Willis. But Hard Kill was one of those movies where it's a lot of action. It's a popcorn movie, but it's some suspense going on as well. I play kind of this character who is trying to play both sides, where I hired Jesse Metcalfe, but I work for Mr. Willis as well, trying to get this device that basically can control the world. So it's one of those movies where you have to, really focus on it. The action's there to keep you tuned, but there's also a secret twist at the end, which I'm excited to, wait and see it. Mm-hmm.
I love a twist. I love something that it's plot driven, but it keeps you going because of the characters. And let me ask you, because it's one of the most hotly debated controversies in Hollywood, and you knowing Bruce Willis for so long, set the record straight, okay? Is Die Hard a Christmas movie or not?
Look, Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie. Absolutely.
Right?
It is. I love those Die Hard movies.
That's one of the biggest debates of all time, don't you think?
I think so. Whoever thinks it's not a Christmas movie, you're wrong.
It goes right along with, It's a Wonderful Life and Elf. Go right there with the Christmas movies.
Right. Oh, and also, you can't forget the Christmas Story. I mean, come on.
Exactly. But this is a perfect summer blockbuster, and people can see it on demand starting this week.
Yes, on demand starting this week, and it's also out in your local theaters, also in drive-ins, so that's good to know.
Well, we can't wait to see this. Let me ask you before I let you go, what has been the number one thing you've binged in quarantine or you found yourself watching? Has there been a movie or a series that you want to admit to?
You know what? There's several series that I've been watching between the Netflix and the Hulu. My particular favorite one right now, I would say the Lacey, the document series on the Lacey, forgot her last name, the murder of Lacey.
Peterson?
Yes. No? Thank you, Rachel. Yes, that's what I've been watching as of recently. Thank you so much for that. And that's very interesting. So that's one of my favorites.
I haven't seen that, but I did go through all of Ozark pretty quick, and That's not for the faint of heart. But I love that yours is a popcorn action film with a twist. And Texas Battle, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate your time. Tell Bruce hi for us as well.
I definitely will.